Hello again, it's Dustin Rose behind the Audix SCX25A microphone and with the Rattlesnake XLR cable plugged into it. And I'm here with a beautiful, beautiful Breedlove parlor guitar. It is part of the Oregon Myrtlewood series. And it's amazing little guitar here. There's a long story behind it, but the long and the short of it is my friend who used to work at Breedlove. I walked in there, her name was Anne, and I walked in there and I was looking at some other guitars and getting one of my guitars fitted with a pickup or something. I can't remember now. It was several years ago. And she said, "You have to check out this guitar." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, it was a Myrtlewood, which means you have Myrtlewood on the back and the sides, and they were just starting to use Myrtlewood on the tops. And they only had a limited run. It was called the Oregon Limited is what it was called before they actually started calling it the Oregon Myrtlewood series. It was the Oregon Limited, and that means that, I don't know, they made like a short run of them to see how they would, what they would sound like and how they would be embraced or how people would receive them. And they only did them in parlor and concert. The concert size is this size. At the time, they were making a dreadnought, but they did not make this particular build, this particular wood selection in the dreadnought size. They only made it in the concert and in the parlor. Of course, now they have the concerto, which I did a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I did a video on the Oregon Myrtlewood concerto, which is the equivalent. It's more modern than the dreadnought. It's a newer design than the dreadnought, and it's kind of taken the place of the dreadnought. But it's basically where this particular run morphed into them actually starting the Myrtlewood line of all Oregon, the Oregon series all Myrtlewood line. It's I think I've covered most of the Myrtlewood traits in a couple videos ago, but I'll cover a little bit more. Myrtlewood is a very unique looking wood. No set of Myrtlewood will look the same. Every single guitar is going to look a little bit different. So this guitar, the beautiful top and the back, is a one of a kind. You will not find this particular design, this figuring, the cool, awesome look of this guitar. It's very, very unique. It's one of a kind. And all Myrtlewood is kind of a one of a kind look. The other thing about Myrtlewood is, as I mentioned before, is that it's a very strong wood. It's very clear wood, and it's a very strong projectile wood. So it projects very, very loud, but it also projects very pure and clean and strong. So it's an interesting tone wood, and I really am enjoying it. Again, I mentioned a couple weeks ago when I did the concerto version, which is right behind me. You probably can't see it very well. It's the one right back here. We don't really know what Myrtlewood's going to sound like in 30 or 40 years. So when this breaks in and becomes the guitar that it's going to be in 10, 20, 30 years, we don't really know what it's going to sound like. So it's going to be kind of an awesome journey, an awesome time to watch this grow and become the instrument that it's going to become. Now, being that this is a parlor, which actually has been replaced with the Concertina design that Breedlove has just come out with a couple years ago. They came out with this Concertina design, which is very similar to a parlor. It's the same basic size and shape. It's a slightly updated version of it. It's not going to be a great guitar for heavy strummers. So if you're a heavy strummer, you need to get the concerto. You need to get, maybe even you'd be open to the concert. If you are a finger picker who likes to do lots of finger picking and you like to do light strumming, or if you do not have a very loud voice and you just want to, you can look up the stories about why they made parlor guitars, because it was built to play in a parlor, a small living room, and for young ladies or young gentlemen, I guess, depending on who you are at the time, they were to play that and to be able to sing with it and to woo a person for romantic relations. And so the parlor guitar was designed to fill a small room and to work really well with someone's voice. So if you're looking for a bluegrass, banjo busting, huge sounding freight train guitar, this is not going to be the one. No parlor guitar is designed for that. So, but if you're looking for something that you can finger pick that would really, really, really complement your voice, this is one. I'll give you an example. The people who play parlors, I can think of one who plays a parlor guitar and does it really well, and that's Joan Baez. I saw a video of her recently, a couple weeks ago on YouTube, and she was playing a parlor guitar, finger picking it. It sounded fantastic. That's what this is all about. So if you're looking for a finger picker guitar that you can sing over, or that you could just play in a small room, a small venue, and you don't have to amplify it out to be humongous. I've also heard Stephen Stills play one of these. It's not his main guitar. His main guitar is a D45, but he does occasionally pull one of these out and do some finger picking, folk songs and that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for something like that that could fill a small room, you could even amplify it into a small room. I would avoid doing stadium tours with it, but if you're going to do a small room and finger picking, this is a beautiful, beautiful choice for that venue. I can talk all day about it. Let's see. Myrtlewood backsides. It's got the maple neck. It's got the ebony fretboard. This, what makes this a little bit different is that it's got the gold-plated tuners, which makes it the limited back in the day. If it was not the limited, it would just be the standard chrome hardware. This has the gold-plated hardware. It's the Breedlove pickup tuning pegs, I should say, the Breedlove tuners, and the Made in Bend organ. This is an organ series made by Breedlove, so it is made in Bend, Oregon. Very beautiful place, great people there. I've talked a lot about this guitar already, so let's actually hear it. I'm going to do some finger picking and some light strumming, and you can get a really good idea of what it's supposed to sound like. The resonance really, it just keeps resonating. It's really good. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of really, really good articulation, note articulation there, the separation between the notes. It would be a really, really good for finger picking if you're a singer-songwriter, or if you like to play classical music, or if you like to play blues, or if you like to do just some folk music where you're singing over it. This would be perfect for that. It's really a finger picker's dream, because it's not really, really loud, but it's super articulate. You can hear every note, and it's easy to play. It's easy to control the sound of it, to manage the sound of it, especially while you're singing. You don't have to compete with it while you're singing, and it's a small enough box that you don't have to wear yourself out trying to fight with it for long periods of time if you're doing gigs and stuff. Again, it's really, really, really well made. It's the quality of the Breedlove craftsmanship is definitely there. And I would highly recommend this for people who are finger pickers, who really need to have something that's this articulate and clean sounding. There are other parlor guitars out there that Breedlove makes and that other people make, but none of them are Myrtlewood, full Myrtlewood that I'm aware of. At least none of them have really come out and marketed the Myrtlewood body, the full Myrtlewood body. So I really want to highly recommend that you consider this one. Consider this this Oregon Myrtlewood. It's a Concertina now, but this was a parlor when it was released. So take a look at the Concertina. There are going to be some slight differences, but check it out and see if it's the right guitar for you, or if it's a need that you see in your guitar arsenal, and you're like, I need to have this particular need met and this particular need filled with a guitar. This might be that guitar. So check it out. Again, my name is Dustin Rose. If you like any of the music that I played here, demoing this guitar, it is all music that I have written, and most of it is available anywhere that you like to listen to your music and enjoy it. And also, if you'd like to check out my website and keep up with where I'm at, what I'm doing, the projects I'm working on, it's dustinrose.com. And I appreciate you coming and being here. I want to give a shout out once again to Audix, the SCX25A, the Rattlesnake Cable Company. They make great quality cables in Missoula, Montana. And also to Breedlove for making this beautiful guitar. Again, my name is Dustin Rose, and I appreciate you being here. Make sure and stay safe out there, and God bless.